Well, hello and welcome to ILoveGay today. And we are back in Europe today, and we're also back with a return guest, but from a broader perspective. But we're here with both Toby Holfelt and Pavel Schubert. How are you both?
Hey, hello,
Really
Matt.
good.
And as we can see from your background, what's interesting is that this is a very business focused topic, but you guys have kind of been the pioneers in putting together the European LGBTQ Chamber of Commerce. And I would say, from the Americans' point of view, it's very similar in concept to the NGLCC, the National Gay and Lesbian Chamber we have here. But you guys really created something very unique and amazing there in Europe as well.
Thanks for recognizing this. And I think yes, to some extent, we are the mirror in Europe here when it comes to like the NGLCC. So EGLCC, though I must say we don't have such a history. So we don't unfortunately have so many years behind us. We only started when it was 2018 when we met.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Yeah. But
But we've
for
had regional chambers before, and we realized we needed to create something more European wide.
Yeah. Well, Toby, you and I have known each other for many, many years, and you really, I can honestly say you are a pioneer at this. You've been doing this for a very long time, but from that Scandinavian Chamber of Commerce point of view.
Yes, more than 20 years, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Don't even want to think about it anymore. I was such a child. Yeah. Okay.
So we have the same history like NGLCC, oh, 20
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
But
We're
then
getting
Pablo,
there.
but then
Yeah.
Pablo and you and I connected with the East Meets West Chamber, and you guys are very focused on that regional perspective from kind of from Vienna, but you're kind of that Central and Eastern European um, kind of bringing folks together. But so tell us then, kind of how did you guys like bring this together, get it started as far as kind of taking these regional approaches and kind of bringing it together into something a little more pan-European?
Something that wasn't really in Europe at the time and still isn't really is the business perspective of LGBTIQ, IQ, this whole concept. We haven't been used to have that angle to this discussion as a topic,
Yeah.
and I think that is an important topic, and that's what we're trying to bring into from the kind of a US version to into Europe to also understand that perspective of inclusion.
Yeah.
But I think it all started back, I think, 2018. 2018, we've done an event here in Vienna, in Austria,
Yeah.
which is somehow even like symbolically, it's in the middle, right? So you have basically, you have the East, and then you also have the West. The Eastern countries, they like coming here because it's also a nice inspiration. The Westerns come here as well because it's nice. There is this whole heritage of Habsburgs and all of the monarchies and everything. Joking.
Yes.
But there is a point in basically making it very, very central. And I think it was Toby, it was me, and it was Lucia that time. And she runs
Oh,
now the Italian
Ludo.
Norbert and Lucia.
Yeah, it
And
was
Lucia was
Ludo.
there. Yeah, yeah, Lucia. And of course, Ludo, the famous Ludo
Yeah.
from East Meets West. And we simply sat down and was like, listen, we can either continue as we do. So we've been doing things in Central Eastern Europe. Toby was doing things in Scandinavia, and Lucia and Norbert were doing things in Italy. But does this really make sense that we basically replicate each other?
Yeah.
Why can't we do something joint? And I think it was over some drinks as well. But at the end, we ended up signing a so-called a declaration. So I think it was like a Vienna
Yes,
Declaration.
we wanted to have a historical touch, so it was the Vienna Declaration as kind of the historical declaration. And when we actually signed the corporate registration, that was in Philadelphia, connecting
That's
with
true.
the Independence Declaration in the US too. So we wanted to be a little connected.
Wow.
And of course, we drink champagne always when we sign
Yes.
such a paper. Yeah.
But
That's what we
I
do.
noticed either from our past discussions, but also from your website and so forth. But it's, I'm looking at what are the main goals that you're trying to achieve? Because I would say the number one thing really seems to be just giving LGBTQ businesses more visibility and more resources and so forth.
That's exactly the case. So when it comes to diverse businesses or LGBTQ owned, operated in Europe, you have to understand that not always they have an easy time.
Yeah.
In many, many times, and unfortunately, it's even increasing that they they basically are disconnected from the networks, right? So if you are disconnected, then how do you get to new opportunities? How do you grow your business if basically you fear? And you also fear with the customers and with the partners, like, what if I come out in business? And I think there is a certain something about Europeans that they always look at things like, what can happen, right?
Yeah.
Where's the catch? Where's the risk?
Yeah.
Comparing to maybe the other continents where they would look more into like, what are the opportunities for me? So we live in a basic environment, just like, what is it that I'm risking
Yeah.
if I'm standing out? But we need these people. We need these people who stand out because these for us are important role models. And overall, so we basically advocate for this LGBTIQ on businesses because they need to be visible. They need to be visible so that also the mainstream population, they see that LGBTIQ, it's not only about one week, one day in a year when it comes to the Pride event.
Yeah.
It's the whole year of a business person.
Yeah. Well, what do you,
And some may also lack the social networks that other people might have, part of a golf club or a Rotary or whatever it might be, that you actually try and get your business connections. And some, at least LGBT people, actually miss that part, and it's so crucial in order to improve your business.
So if I can jump in, Matt. So on one hand, so these are the LGBTQ businesses. So this is, for us, this is the community, and we are building a strong community. When you look at numbers, we estimate 1.5 million LGBTIQ businesses or own businesses in Europe. That's a lot.
yeah. Yeah.
But can we really right now reach out? Can we bring all of the 1.5 million businesses to one place? Even if we would have the place where to bring them, no way. Because as I said, they fear that there is something which may be harmful when I come out in a business environment. So it's on one hand the businesses. On the other hand, we are a one-stop shop for the corporates, for the organizations who need to source from great innovative businesses.
Yeah.
Those who are basically completely bringing something new, which are the LGBTIQ. So for them, we are the one-stop shop. They come to us and we make sure that we get sourcing from Italy, from Spain, from Scandinavia, from Central Eastern Europe. So we are the place in between.
Yeah. Well, especially in today's world, it's 2025, and so because a lot of what you were talking about touches into supplier diversity, but also kind of diversity and inclusion initiatives. But are you seeing the same kind of pushback that we're seeing in the United States now, as far as, I don't know, the winds seem to be going in another in the opposite direction now, especially here. But are you sensing that there as well?
In some places, certainly, yes. In some countries, it's going backwards. In some countries, they're trying to hold back, but it just gives the idea that it's painful. LGBT people know that things can actually change, and you never know what's going to happen in 10 years, and you know that their situation is more fragile than many others are when it comes to anything from marriage to adoption to what standing do I have legally 5 years from now, 10 years from now. You never know. It's uncertain, and I think that uncertainty is something that we have in common on both sides of the Atlantic right now.
But I think, listen, I think we also have strong values in Europe, and I think we need to be more vocal about what these values are. And the values need to include also inclusion, this whole basically mix of people, the whole diversity, right?
Yeah.
So I think we need to be a bit bold when it comes to making them loud, making them understood by the public.
Yeah.
And some would argue that those values are not European values. So I guess it's
Yeah. Listen, I mean, so we are right now we are sitting in Austria, right? This beautiful, and it's beautiful sunny day outside. Things used to be brilliant here. But no longer, right? So I don't know, whoever follows a little bit of what's happening in the region in Europe, you have few countries which are a little bit more prominent in the news when it comes to what the different prime ministers are doing. But even here, for many years, Austria was an example of how things were running great. but this is not the case anymore, right?
Yeah.
Also here, basically, we need to be watching out not to allow what could happen if simply few politicians would hijack the country in a direction on the wrong side.
Yeah. Makes it seem like all of the work we're all doing is just much more important now than it was even before.
Mm.
Yeah.
True.
But you guys really get out there and spread the message as well, which I think is a big part, kind of getting out from behind the website, behind the computer. But even recently, you guys participated in We Connect International, and it seems like events are still a part of a strong part of what you guys do.
I think what is important is not to be alone on the boat. And here also compliments and thanks to, I don't know, being it We Connect, being it MSD UK, Toby is still here next to me.
All right.
Look.
All right.
So MSD UK, ESGP, We Connect, Disability In. I mean, we all talk to each other, and especially here in Europe, when there is an event, we try to do things jointly, right? So if there is something happening, then we need to be there and we need to convey the same message, because if it's more of us, then this is really making a difference. What we also try to do next to these events, I mean, we have Brussels, and for us, Brussels and the headquarters of the European Union are mega important. So we do regularly institutional visits. We are in touch with the MPs and with the commissioners to also bring the message there. And unfortunately, it's the case that maybe there was a lot of focus when it comes to workplace inclusion, but I think we need to also bring more and more the voice of, okay, so there is in business environment, it's not also about workplace, it's also about the businesses who are part of this whole ecosystem and who are part of the supply chain.
Yeah.
And of course, we need to highlight all our regional and local chambers who are actually doing the groundwork in each country across Europe, which are the pillars from which we can work on and stand on.
Yeah.
So maybe let's name them. So obviously Tobias, he also runs the SGLCC, that's the Scandinavian chamber. So anything regards to Scandinavia, being it Sweden, Finland, Norway, Denmark, he is the person running it. We have Germany, that's the GGLBC. We have Benelux, so that's Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg. We have France, which is new cooperation from 2019. No, later, 2023. I think 23 we opened it.
Okay.
Spain,
Yeah.
extremely also like big market, and lots of businesses are actually coming from Spain. Then if you go further south, that's Italy. So that's Edge, who is leading the Italian chapter. And finally, East meets West for Central and Eastern Europe. So anything what starts with Austria further to the east.
Yeah.
There will be some news coming later this year. So at least one country we know for sure that we will have a local chamber or chapter in place.
Nice.
So leaving this maybe to two countries in Europe where we would not be having an on-site presence. And the on-site presence is extremely important.
Yeah.
Because without being part of the local community, the local networks, this would not work.
Yeah. No, that's what I was going to ask you. It sounds that's the start of it. You know, what kind of new and exciting things can we expect to see that you could talk about for this year? But it sounds like you're going to have additional members, and between that and events, is there anything exciting happening this year?
I think it's mainly so. Events is one thing, and we will be doing lots of small events with the local chambers. But it's also building the strong community. I think this gets really now in a focus because the businesses are the most important for us. On one hand, yes, towards the corporate sourcing, but there is a huge opportunity from a certain marketplace, right? Because this whole B2B conversations between the businesses, this is a lot.
Yeah.
It's actually all written down behind us on a billboard because we did the 2025 planning now today.
Yes.
Probably it's blurred.
Yeah. We have to make sure that the background is with EGLCC logo. Otherwise, we would reveal all of the plans immediately. And it will not be good, right?
I love that. Well, mostly I'm just really glad that you guys were able to take a few moments of your time and kind of tell a little bit of the story of what you guys been up to with our audience. And I really look forward to being able to connect with you at one of the upcoming, whether it's here in the US or if I just got back from France a few days ago. So whether I'm out there with one of your events as well.
But
Well,
listen,
that's it.
yeah, well, we cannot say the details, but I think this country is also we are cooking something there. But overall, I mean, we will be present. So we will be present on various big events which are happening throughout the year.
Yeah.
We plan to be at Las Vegas this year as well. I
Okay.
don't know if you're coming as well, NGLCC, Matt.
I'm thinking about it. It's always difficult. It's
Yeah,
Las
I
Vegas
do
in the
one more
summer.
interview.
Yeah.
And then I'll take, I don't know, like a shirt and something proper, not to have a hoodie like today.
It's an August in Vegas. You don't need any clothes at all. I think that's yeah.
Yeah, then Toby is taking the pool party and interviews at the poolside.
Exactly. Well, I love that. Well, yes, I'm planning to go to the Las Vegas event, so it would be great to see you guys there.
Excellent,
Yeah.
All
excellent.
right. Well, thanks again, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank
Thanks
you
a
very
lot,
much.
man.
Take care.
So good.